from today, voluntary assisted dying is legal in Victoria, and terminally ill Victorians will be able to choose to end their life through Australia's first set of euthanasia laws. Patrick Murrell is in Melbourne. Pat, the laws have been described as the most conservative set of euthanasia requirements in the world. The Premier saying they're acting very cautiously.
That's right, Tom. There are 68 safeguards making this one of the most conservative forms of voluntary euthanasia in the world. Patients will need to be terminally ill and in intolerable pain with less than 6 months to live, 12 months if they have a neurodegenerative disease like MND. 2 doctors will need to confirm that the patient has that treatment, as well as 2 independent witnesses who are not beneficiaries to the patient's will. The doctors can't raise the issue with the patient. They face charges if they do that. The patient needs to raise it of their own accord. Now, most importantly, the patient needs to be of sound mind. They can't be mentally incapacitated in any way. They need to be capable of making the decision themselves. Take a listen.
It's not for me to be lecturing or telling other states and territories what they should be doing. We made this choice. It was the right time to make this choice, and I think that the vast majority of Victorians support the choice that the Parliament made. Having said that, though, I fully respect those who have a different view to me. Part of having a respectful debate is to acknowledge that not everybody shares my view.
Now, every single application will go through a review board chaired by a former Supreme Court Justice. That process will take about 3 weeks. If a patient is approved, the lethal concoction will be mixed here in Melbourne at the Alfred Hospital. It'll be delivered to a patient's home where they'll need to drink it themselves. They can't be assisted unless they're physically incapable of drinking, in which case a doctor can help them set up an IV bag. The Victorian Parliament passed these laws 18 months ago in an Australian first. Premier Daniel Andrews won't say whether other states should follow his lead. It does remain, though, a very controversial issue. Even as late as last night, there were pro-life activists on the steps of Parliament holding a candlelit vigil protesting these euthanasia laws. Now, in the first year, Premier Daniel Andrews says that about a dozen Victorians will access these laws. That will grow to about 100 or 150 in the years after that. So the first patient will be able to apply today, and if they're approved, they'll be able to go through with the process in July.